Or with Wade, and this is Wade World. All right, we're gonna talk about something that a lot of you guys in the West, especially English-speaking countries, maybe even in Europe, hear a lot. And this expression, which I used to believe in when I was in high school and as well, but wised up to pretty fast. And the expression is this: as long as someone is doing something that doesn't hurt anybody, let them do it, regardless of how messed up it is. I'm not going to give specific examples because I actually want this message out there. And a lot of messed up people are in charge of what messages can be put out there. But here's the thing: this doesn't correlate with reality. It's a very childish way of thinking. And if you're a grown man who thinks like that, you're a child, bro. I'm not even gonna address grown girls thinking like that because that's the luxury they have. They can always be children. The reason this is absolute BS is because you are not an island. No man is an island, and extrapolating that to everybody, no person is an island. Unless you are in the middle of the jungle, away from everybody else, any human contact, and you're doing your thing over there, you are going to have an impact on the people around you. If you're doing something that you know is intrinsically unacceptable, or it's just sort of different. Now, here's the thing: it could be different in a positive way or a negative way. But the difference in a positive way, if you're inventing something, if you're doing something to benefit people, benefit society, civilization, you can't lump the negative stuff with the positive under the guise of, oh, as long as you do it and it's not hurting anybody, blah, 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 blah. No. If you're trying to invent a rocket that'll go to Mars, that helps mankind. If you're just trying to do some messed up shit in front of people who don't want to see it, you're not helping mankind at all. In fact, by tolerating you, that tolerance is spreading, allowing your messed up stuff to spread. Now, that is weakening society and weakening mankind. So, whatever behaviors you're thinking about when you say, like, oh, everybody should live their life. Yeah, if you're 14, 15, 16, and you don't really know the repercussions of what these decisions are, and you have closed your eyes and you're ignoring your instincts of the utter clown world that is the Western world right now, cool, you're a kid, I let it go. But if you're a grown, mature man or woman, you're either very foolish or you're a liar. And let's be honest, the liars are the people who are smarter about it. Because if you truly believe that, you're a fool. You're getting played by the people who are smarter than you, who lie about these things, and they control you, and they're more successful than you, aren't they? They have more money, more power, more authority than you, and you just repeat the lies, but you don't have anything to show for that. So anyway, and also these people in power are not particularly productive for society or civilization that they're in. So this particular expression, anybody can live their life the way they want as long as it's not hurting anybody, doesn't stand up to reality. If the way you're living your life is abnormal, harmful, and extreme, it is going to negatively affect everybody living around you. I'll give you a simple example. If you like to jump your motorcycle through rings of fire, but you just set up a ring of fire wherever you are and jump your motorcycle through it, guess what? You are going to set some things on fire. You're inconveniencing people. You're making it dangerous for people, children, everybody around you. That's one of the more reasonable examples I can give. You can extrapolate that to a whole lot of messed up stuff that is going on today. So anybody who says this to you, if you are one of the few rare people who can understand what I'm trying to say, are either fools, in which case it is your choice whether to ignore them or try to explain and teach them. If you don't think they can be taught, better to ignore them and just get on your way to being successful. Or they're the more dangerous category, they're the liars, because these are the people who are using these lies to get what they want. and that is usually power. It's not glamorous, but it is what makes the world go round. It doesn't matter how big of a or actor you or actress or whatever you are, you gotta jump when the people who pay your bills and the people who pay you tell you to jump. And if you don't, well, you know what's gonna happen. So this is one of those examples of the many things that are thought up by extremely psychotic high IQ individuals to control the sheep. And honestly, if you're the fools, you are the sheep that are being controlled. Like, oh, anybody can live their life however they want as long as it's not hurting you. People used to say the same things about a lot of stuff in the 50s and the 60s and the 70s. And right now, you don't want to live around the people that your grandparents tolerated or your parents tolerated. Because by tolerating abnormal stuff, it always becomes more extreme until it knocks on your door and beats you over the head with a club unless you agree to something that is fundamentally and extremely wrong. You're forced to do it. You don't have a choice. You can lose your livelihood. You can lose your reputation. You can lose as an average person, you can lose almost everything. Why? Because you kept quiet and you didn't say anything. If you live in a country where freedom of speech is still alive, and look, guys, none of these rights are going to be alive because a piece of paper says it. All of these rights needs to be defended by people who have the will to act, the discipline to organize, and then the motivation to actually fight for it. Right? If you don't fight for it, guess what? These will be taken away. The rights, all the rights that you have on either the right or the left are not because they just exist in nature, and if someone breaks your right, a thunderbolt will come out of the sky and strike them down. You have a right not to get punched in your house, but if someone comes and punches you in your house, nothing is gonna happen at that moment. Like a thunderbolt comes from nature, like thou shalt not be punched in thy house. Boom. Nothing's gonna happen. It might happen after the fact. Your rights are basically dependent on the people in power, what they allow and what they do not allow. And the rights that are just and allowed are only allowed because backing the breaking of those rights is a lot of pushback, and not just protesting, petitioning, calling your congressman, wooting hard, bro. No, it's violence. And this is where we're getting into more manly territory. It's violence. So remember, gonna be short and brief. Whenever you hear someone say this, as long as someone is living their life according and they're not hurting anybody, I don't mind. They're either fools or they're liars. Both of them can be dangerous. The fools, some of them can be made wise, but most of them are going to be a liability. The liars obviously are dangerous. So keep yourself clear of such people. And remember, you cannot make an exception like, oh, my friend is cool in all other things, but this is what they believe in. No, they're not cool in other things. You just haven't seen them pushed to the edge. These are one of the things that their sheep brain can put in words and is pretty sure won't get any pushback. Remember, the test of a conviction comes in how much pressure you put on someone and how hard their convictions stand up to that pressure. Without pressure, there is no conviction. Anybody can say, yeah, I totally believe in XYZ, but it's harder to say the XYZ when everything is on the line, right? So this is one line that is absolutely moronic, divorced from reality, and is used to justify all sorts of degenerate, terrible stuff that will destroy society. Understand the people who use them. Losers or liars. Try to turn the losers into winners. Those that can, get away from them. Liars beware. And, the strategy for them is something else. Keep that in mind. You'll have a happier life, simpler life, and you'll have the thing that is mostly needed but is not present, which is common sense. Because in the world today, common sense is not so common. Until next time, keep it cool, keep it classy, and enjoy.